Trapped by the belief that I'm not good enough, bound by the limitations and the lies that consumed my world, this was me. It wasn't until I took the biggest leap in my life to know and trust the power within. And it was at that moment I made a choice. My past will not define me anymore. Hello, I am Teri, and I know I am not alone in this. Over the years, I have found that the number one mistake that we make is that we get in the way of our own success story. Yes, I said it. On this show, together we'll tackle limiting beliefs, self sabotage, getting stuck, fear, doubt, overwhelm, and the imposter syndrome. Join us on this journey designed to transport you beyond your limitations to a world where anything is possible. This is Talking with Teri. Hello, and welcome back to Talking with Teri, where we have powerful conversations to transform your life and your business. And I am so excited to be sharing our guest with you today, Cynthia Zhai. She is a voice coach, professional speaker, best-selling author, and a TEDx speaker. She has taken professionals from 46 countries across 6 continents to speak with a powerful voice. Cynthia, welcome to the show.
Sure. Thank you, Teri, for having me.
And she is coming straight from Singapore, and it is like 11 o'clock your time while we're recording this. So thank you so much for being flexible and staying up for the cause.
Sure.
So let's get into it. Let's dive in. I'd love for you to share a little bit about yourself and how you got to be where you're at today on your journey.
Mm-hmm. Hi, everyone. This is Cynthia. I am a voice coach, so I help people speak with a more powerful voice so that they can be heard and be respected. And how I got here today was because I needed to learn how to speak with a powerful voice.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that true? Like how we are, our paths, like, right, our gifts, our stories, the mess becomes our message, right? Like, so I love this. And so I want to hear about this. I want to hear that journey for you.
Yes, that's right. So our messes become our messages. And so when I was graduating in my first job, I was not assertive. I was being bullied by the boss. And so I went on a journey to discover more assertiveness. By the same time, in my discovery, I was also chancing upon voice. So I developed my speaking voice in that journey as well. And even though I had singing training, but singing voice and speaking voice, there are still differences. When I developed my speaking voice, that's where I realized, wow, it not only made me sound more powerful, but also I felt more powerful. And that's where it planted the seed that one day I wanted to help other people to do that.
Wow.
So in my last job, where I was doing in-house training our own employees on leadership communication. So they were asking me, they said, wow, Cynthia, how do I develop my voice? And that's where all the things started to fall into place. So that's where it motivated me to start on my journey. That's almost 11 and a half years ago.
Wow. Okay. So I was one of those folks that I was terrified of speaking. Absolutely. And I think this topic can relate to, I feel like, a lot of entrepreneurs, but a lot of other folks that are in corporates and career driven as well, because so often, I mean, fear of public speaking is like, the fear of public speaking is one of the top fears. It's like, I think it's fear of death and fear of public speaking. Like, I think they're like right up there, like 1 and 2 somewhere. So, this is a big issue for a lot of people, myself included. I was extraordinarily shy. And I remember when I was in 6th grade, I was like, now looking back, I realized it was probably a download, but I was like, I got to do something that will, that I can't be shy for. And so I signed up for cheerleading.
Okay.
But I had my own journey of like speaking. So, what was that like for you? I mean, were you shy as well and just had a small voice, or just was what was that for you?
Yeah. I was very shy when I was young. So I remember that we have 3 girls at home, and I was the most shy one. And whenever there were neighbors visiting our houses, I'll be closing the door and went back into my own room, never came out.
I laugh because I can relate.
And then the good thing was when I was in schools, so I was, because of my grades, so I was appointed by the teacher as the class president. So as the class president, I got the opportunity to speak in front of the groups when I was in my 7th grade. So from that onwards, I was always standing in front of the groups. So I don't have all these other challenges, like people say that, oh, I have fear of public speaking, because I was so lucky that my teacher gave me that opportunity. But other than speaking in front of groups, whenever I was in a new environment, even when I was in my, when I was working in corporates, so whenever I was in a new group, whenever I was in a meeting, I was not speaking up, I was quiet. So that's where you will see that the shyness was in place. And so for me, I had to overcome that. And to overcome that, one of the biggest challenges was that I had to be very comfortable with being visible. So I was not very comfortable with being visible. And so that was one of the biggest things that I needed to overcome in order to grow myself personally and professionally.
So I think that's so true for what I see as well for entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of women entrepreneurs, and it's about being seen and being heard. And you've worked with a lot of clients over the years.
Yes.
What is what's the starting point? So let's say there's people listening to this right now, and they're in that beginning stage of like, I know I need to do something, or if I know, for a lot of entrepreneurs, we are the brand, we are the message. And
Yes.
so it is on our shoulders. We can't really hire someone to, be us and speak
Yeah.
our message. So what's a
Yes.
starting point that people can start?
Mhm. Yeah, so a lot of entrepreneurs, when they came to me, they said, oh, I'm tired of hiding behind the computers. So I need to
Mhm.
get in front of people and speak to get clients. And
Yeah.
so when I work with them, we work on 2 main areas. One is the skill set, which is to help them develop skills to speak up with a powerful voice, with a powerful message. And then the other area is the mindset. So I needed to find out that what is it that is really holding them back? Because for me, in my beginning, it was the fear of visibility. For some of my clients, they also have the similar fear of visibility. But there are also clients who have other fears, like fear of judgment, fear that they don't know enough. So we work on both areas, skill set and mindset.
Perfect. I think that's incredible. And I think that so often I see that because conversations around people doing Facebook Lives, speaking, I always tell people there's two ways of building a business. There's the marathon and then there's the sprint. The marathon is the connections or referrals or relationships and it just takes time. And then there's the sprint, which is most often through speaking or some sort of other funnel building piece. But speaking is such a powerful way to have impact. Would you agree
Yes.
with that?
Yes. So speaking, it is like a sprint.
It is, and you can just have such an incredible impact on that audience. So when you so working with the mindset and, obviously the skill set, which I think go hand in hand, right? Because,
Yes.
a lot of people just don't know what they don't know on the skill
Yeah.
set. Like, how do I structure this talk? How do I deliver a talk? How do I stand up and be present, for this talk, but also the mindset piece, which is so important. What can you share with us as far as that process? So for folks that are listening to us right now, like, what would you, be sharing with people that are in this boat that maybe
Mhm.
need some support?
Yes. So most of the times that we will work on the skill set first, the skill set including two areas as well. One is the delivery. So as you also mentioned, delivery including the voice. Is the voice powerful enough? Is the voice engaging enough? And then the other area is the structure of your content, the structure of your speech. Because a lot of my clients in the beginning, they came to me, they said, oh, I already have the speech. Let's just work on the delivery. But when I looked at the speech, I said, the speech will guarantee that the audience will fall asleep.
Oh, I love it. Well, just say it how it is, right?
Yes. And then as we work on that, a lot of them, they realized, they said, I thought I knew what I didn't know. As I started
Yeah.
to work on the structure, I realized I didn't even know what I didn't know.
I think that's important. And I think, it's about having, it's about giving, it's about having enough showmanship to give the audience really an experience, right?
Yes.
Like it's about, and I think that's, so I have a lot of energy. So I feel it's like it's a gift in the sense that I can put that, my personality, I just plop it right into my talk. And it's like, I actually have a caution label when I go in to an audience. I'm like, caution may contain excessive energy, right? Because I'm going to give them an experience, and we're going to leave in this high vibe place. But not everybody has that. I mean, because we're all different. We're all cut from different fabrics, and we're all unique. So how do you kind of dig out what's unique about that individual that, may not be high energy, but they might have just, like, I don't know, like some other, qualities to bring to the table. They might be more serious, they might be more humorous, they might be, whatever these other qualities are. Like, how do you dig in and kind of pull that out for them?
So one thing that I also ask my clients to do is that before we work together, I give them a personality test. So
Oh,
where they will
fantastic. Okay.
be doing the personality test and then have an idea of what their type might be. And then during my work with them, then I slowly realize and also confirm what type they are. And so that helps me and helps them as well to know that what is their style. Because if they are someone who is not with that high energy, then I cannot say, oh, you need to deliver this with high energy. Then it's go against their personality. So we need to know that what is the best style for them. So that helps us to determine that what is the best style, the speaking style for them. And then based on that, we will deliver how you are going to structure your presentation, your speech, so that we can bring out the best in you, make your strengths shine, and also to avoid that your weaknesses. So that's how we help them.
I love that. And also, do these, I'm assuming that these skills and these techniques apply to all aspects of speaking, right? Like whether it's on a Facebook Live, whether it's on an Instagram reel, whether it's on a 2-minute, pre-recorded video, whether it's on, whatever that might be, right?
Yes, 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 that's right. So be it one is the platform, so it doesn't matter what platform they use. And two is also that the speech itself. So they need to prepare. If it's 5 minutes, then how am I going to deliver the same message? If it's 10 minutes, 1 hour. So we work on that as well.
Yeah, and I love that because once you have your kind of your message packaged correctly. And I want everyone to hear this, because I know that there's even some of my clients that are going to listen to this, because I always am like, I love getting people out there and being seen and heard, because I think that is the message. And it's so funny. I had a client 2 days ago, and she's really resistant on speaking. And I just said, I see you like bigger than you are. And I see you having a bigger impact. And then, and I don't think she would mind me sharing this, she says, and she starts to reveal to me like this huge, like internal knowing that she has about being on big stages. And I just got massive chills, and I'm like, yeah. And I was just like, it was so beautiful to hear it coming out of her mouth, because before I was like, I don't want to push someone into this, but I just know, like, I know this for this person. And I was like, yes. And so I'm like, okay, let's help support you, getting the resources that you need to help build this talk out, so that you feel confident, in delivering the message. Because I think that's another barrier that people have, is like, okay, I know I can do this. And honestly, like, and I don't know if you agree with me, but I think practice, something to be said about practice, right? The more we do this, and I always tell people, do at least 50 times. And then, around 50 times, I don't know, there's some magic around that number that it seems like everything starts to click down. But it's like, just getting out there and giving yourself grace, because we will make mistakes. I gave this talk that I've been giving for a couple years now, last month, and they told me, like, I normally get 25 or 30 minutes, but I had 20 minutes, and I was like, in my head, I was a little in my head for a second, because I'm like, okay, what parts do I need to carve out to according it down, right? And I like just got so ahead of myself that I kind of forgot like a 2-minute piece that was really important. That I was like, so I was able to like come back to it, but I was like, oh my goodness, like, right. Like, but here's the thing, is the audience doesn't know what you were going to say. And so, you don't have to say, oh, I messed up, because like the audience doesn't know. They thought you were brilliant. Right. And so, giving yourself some grace in that piece of as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So some of my clients, they were preparing their scripts. So I said, don't prepare the scripts, because it's going to make you very rigid.
Yes.
And then they, okay, what if I forget to say this? What if I forget to say that? I said, no, don't worry. As long as your key message is there, the audience wouldn't know.
Exactly. But I think this is an important message. And so anyone who's listening right now, and in your heart of hearts that you're supposed to be speaking, that that you have a phenomenal message, okay, please reach out to Cynthia. Okay. But I think it's so important that if reach out, get some support, because there are people that want to open you full-heartedly and say, let's do this. Because, if you can have a bigger impact, whether that's 5 people, 50 people, 500 million people, right? We've done our job, we've done our part, so I'm all about having a bigger impact. So, and speaking is just one of those powerful ways in which we can do that.
Yeah, that's right.
So Cynthia, what is a tip or a trick or something that you can leave with our audience with?
I have two to help them relax before they get onto the stage, or even on a day-to-day basis, how they get over the fear of getting in front of the people. So one is, what has helped me and many of my clients is the shift of focus. So we need to shift our focus, because a lot of times when you are fearful about speaking, when you are fearful about getting in front of people, it's because that you're fearful about you getting judged, you getting seen, you getting a lot of judgment. So we need to shift that focus from us to the audience. So instead of thinking, oh, what if I said something, they don't respond? What if I did sound stupid? So we need to shift that to ask ourselves constructive questions like, what is the one key takeaway I want the audience to have? And how do I want them to feel? What do I want them to do? So you need to get very clear about these 3 questions instead of focus too much on ourselves, because there are still
Yes.
times. Yeah, even though I've been speaking for so many years, but there are still times I still get nervous. And whenever I get nervous, I realize I was too concerned about myself. So I
Mhm.
immediately shift the focus. So that's one thing that people want to do.
I love that, because it's again flipping it back to your what are you here to do? What are you here to serve? Who are you here to serve? And when we can
Yeah.
flip that around, not about us, it's about them, and make
Mhm.
this audience driven, not me driven, it can be really powerful. So that's fabulous tip. Okay, thank you. What's the next one here?
And then the other one is to help them have a voice that's much more relaxed, much more confident. Because a lot of my clients, when they're nervous, they realize that their voice is trembling, their pace is faster, their pitch is going higher. So what you can do on the spot is before you go onto the stage or before you get in front of the camera, you're going to do a sigh first, a sigh like this. So you take a breath in and then we do, ah. So you just release the tension. And research has also shown that if we do sighing more often, especially joyful sighs, it also helps you to increase your level of endorphins.
Is so fascinating. I did not know this. And so for those that were are not on the video, she just like took a deep breath in and just like kind of let your body flop and just did a
Yes,
sigh, right? I
yes.
did not realize this. I love fun facts like this. I think it's so great. So who knew that sighing was such a fantastic tool to use? So for those that are hopping on a stage right before you get on the stage, right before you take that, step onto the stage is just taking a big sigh and just letting it go. Love it.
Yes.
Love it. Powerful, powerful stuff. And little things, right? I love it that it's like so instant and so quick and so you know, fast to implement, right? You were talking about 2 seconds, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Cynthia, this has been delightful. Thank you for the work that you do because I support you 1000% because I think, the work that we do and the messages that we have and people have powerful messages. And, just in case you were questioning if this is the right time or not, if you're hearing this and you're inside going, gosh, that does sound like me, or I had that thought. Oh my goodness, please, please, please reach out to Cynthia and start that work because it's so powerful and you have a message, you have a gift for this world. And it's time now, the time is now to have that gift to be seen and heard and really have an impact in the world. Any final thoughts, Cynthia, do you want to wrap up with today for our audience?
Yes. So I think it is like what you said, that the time is now, because the longer you wait, the more you'll be suffering.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. And there's some joy in confronting the resistance. There's some joy that you get after you push through the resistance, right? And so, and to celebrate like, wow, like I didn't think I could do this. And I went ahead and pushed through it anyways and came out so much stronger on the other end.
Mhm.
Okay, where do people find you? Where can they connect with you?
Sure. There are 2 places. One is they can go to my YouTube channel. So on my YouTube channel, there are over 200 videos
Wow.
talking about voice and speaking techniques. So we now have more than 42,000 subscribers. So
Wow,
our listeners,
fantastic.
so our listeners, you're welcome to join as well. And the other one, of course, they can, for YouTube, they can just go to YouTube and search Cynthia Voice Coach. They will be able to find the channel. And then the second place will be my website. So they can just go to powerfulexecutivevoice.com. So that's where they
Wow.
will find more resources there as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for staying up late for us. And I just appreciate you and appreciate your message. Thank you for being the light in the world, because as you know, when we light another light, there is nothing that we lose, right? We only gain in that process.
Yes.
So thank you for being such a true light and helping light other people's candles in this process.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I am so grateful that you joined me for this episode. If you've enjoyed this, then there's just one thing that I would like you to do. Click to subscribe and leave me a rating and review. As my way to thank you, let's connect for a free consultation. Just reach out to me at talkingwithteri, that's TERI.com, to book your time.